All right, all you foodie and farm-to-table enthusiasts, it's the moment you've been waiting for, that moment when we share a couple of minutes with Dr. Tracey Brigman. She joins us once again. Good to see you, Tracey.
Good to see you.
So today our theme on Meals from the Field, everybody's favorite here in Georgia, peanuts.
Yes, we got some great peanut recipes.
Let's get to it.
All right, so the first one we're gonna do is a peanut snack bar. So we're gonna start by making a crust. So I have right here, I have a half a cup of butter that I melted, so that's 1 stick or half cup. And then I'm gonna add 3/4 cup sugar. And I wanna mix that together so that it's well mixed. So once I have that done, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour that I don't wanna dump, but kind of sprinkle it in there. So we have, after the 1.5 cups flour, that's 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you're gonna mix that together, and it's gonna make kind of a dough. While he is mixing that, I have prepared a 9x13 baking dish, and you can see I have some parchment paper in here because this is gonna be kind of sticky, and if I don't have the parchment paper, it's gonna be really hard to get out. I have my oven preheating at 350. What you're gonna do is you're gonna flatten this out to take up.
Them out.
Yep. We're making a crust. So we want it to fill the whole bottom.
They call me the matador.
That's right.
So everything's matted down.
Everything's matted down and well mixed together. So I'm gonna stick this in the 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. It's not gonna cook completely. I just wanna get the baking process started. While that is baking, I have measured out 3 cups of salted peanuts that I'm gonna set aside because I'll use those once that comes out of the oven. And then I'm gonna do the topping. So I need a small saucepan, and I'm gonna put that on medium-low because I don't want anything to burn. What I have here is 1.5 cups of baking chips. The recipe called for either butterscotch or caramel, and because I'm indecisive and like both, I put 3/4 of each and mix them together. But you can choose peanut butter baking chips, you can use chocolate, so whatever, it's 1.5 cups. I'm gonna pour that into my saucepan. So 1.5 cups, again, mine was a mixture of caramel and butterscotch chips. And then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. I kind of broke it up so that it melts easier instead of one big lump of butter. And then I have a half a cup of corn syrup. And then this is 1 tablespoon of water. And I'm just going to, again, stir this over medium-low heat until everything's melted. My butter's melted, my baking chips are melted. All right, so that's my crust that has baked about 10 minutes. Again, it's not completely done because I'm gonna stick it back in the oven. Our next step is to put my layers in. This is 3 cups of salted peanuts that I want to, and be very careful, the pan is hot, but I want to spread those evenly over my cookie crust. And then you can see here my butterscotch and caramel chips have melted, the butter has melted, and it's nice and smooth. So I am going to pour this as the next layer. It doesn't have to cover every single peanut, but just try to get some to the edges. Once it starts to bake, it'll melt a little bit more and spread out, but we want to try to spread it as much as possible. So once this is ready, we're going to stick it back in the oven at 350 for 12 to 14 minutes. Once my 12 to 14 minutes are up, I'm going to take it out of the oven, and then I need to let it cool completely. So that's going to take probably 4 or 5 hours. Once it's cooled completely, I am going to
enjoy.
Yes, I'm going to enjoy.
So now we move on from the sweet onto the savory, as in savory chicken.
That's right. We're going to do some peanut-crusted chicken tenders. So we're going to set up our assembly line first. I have some oil heating on the stove. So in this bowl, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. In this bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of water and 1 egg that I beat. Yep.
Oh, yeah, butter.
Okay, because that's going to help the peanuts stick.
Okay.
In my little food processor, this is 1 cup of salted peanuts. So go ahead and press that down. All right, so you want these peanuts chopped to a very fine stage so that it has a better chance of sticking to my tenders. And I'm going to pour these in a 3rd bowl. So 3 bowls. Oop. And now we're going to do our assembly line. I have 1 pound of chicken breast tender strips. You can have the larger tenders if you want. These are smaller ones, so we're going to dip them in the flour first, and then in the egg and water wash, and then we're going to coat it with our finely chopped peanuts. I want to have all of my tenders ready before my oil's ready. All right, so we have run our chicken strips through the conveyor belt, and then we washed our hands because they were touching raw chicken. I have a 1/2 cup of canola oil. You can use your oil of choice. I like canola oil, and I have it on medium heat.
How about peanut oil?
You could use peanut oil, absolutely. And so then I'm just going to put this in my oil once it's heated to the appropriate temperature. And then you cook them about 3 to 5 minutes per side. These are smaller than tenders, so I would probably venture to guess it's going to be 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes. So put enough in. I don't want to overcrowd my pan. I want some room in between each one. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. Check it. If it's not nice and brown, I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. Once it's nice and brown on that side, I'm going to flip it and cook it for an additional 3 to 5 minutes. And once I get all of my tenders cooked, I'm going to serve it with, you can serve it with a little bit of honey, your favorite dipping sauce, whatever goes with peanut taste.
And there you have it. 2 very simple recipes that you can find by logging on to farm-monitor.com, going to the top of that section, and you will see the recipe section up there. And again, these are very, very simple to make. If I can do it, you can do it as well. So Tracey, as always, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next month.